Good morning. Today is, wait a minute, let me get it right. Sunday, February 10th, 2009. I have my coffee. We have some sprinkles in the air. We had some rain overnight. They said there's some more. There's rain clouds out there. And I got up this morning. I'm still very tired. We had two additional roommates over the last 2 nights. And wow. When I tell you, they were quite interesting. Nice, quite interesting. Because in the moment they walked in their room, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good night's rest. And of course it wasn't. They snore like lumberjacks sawing wood. One was huge, like Babe the Big Blue Ox. And then his brother, although a smaller version, nice. The way they were just breathing and laboring in their breath, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good night's sleep. And normally I don't need earplugs to try and drown some stuff out, but even with earplugs, it was like I was listening to a stereophonic symphony of labored breath that was still shouting beyond the muteness of what I was trying to drown out. So I had to pray. I had to meditate just so I could go to sleep. And I spent time on the other side, because my father allowed for it. And it was all cool until he brought me back here to this reality. And I was like, oh, I'm still here. I was like, oh, because he always teaches me things in dreams. And it's just for me to come back, assimilate the information, and then I'll go back to sleep. Last night was not a good night's rest. It was the second of 2 nights. But because I had had such a good experience the first night, and I even tried to tell the man who rented the space, because the guy that I liked, he moved into another room with somebody who I liked, and she was not happy. And he decided, I don't know what he decided. All I know is that I asked the young man when he came in, the younger of the two who did snore as bad. I said, what, are you working on your brother? He said, oh no, he's going to sleep outside because he disturbed you. Because he did ask me how I rested. He said, I hope I didn't disturb you. I said, well, to be honest with you, yes, you did. Between the two, yeah, there was quite a bit of disturbance, and I was very. He said, yeah, because when I got up, you were knocked out. I said, yeah, I was trying to catch up on the sleep that I lost, listening to y'all over the course of the night. I had done meditation and everything and earbuds, but it didn't drown you out. Kind of reminds me of like the world at large. When people keep talking incessantly about, basically what they're unaware they're doing. They just do it anyway. That's what it reminded me of. And, it's loud and it's obnoxious and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And nobody gets any rest. Well, maybe the person there, but the thing is, you would think if you labor that hard just trying to draw breath, that can't be good for your health. But then there are studies about that, but that's scientific stuff, and I'm pretty sure just like global warming, that's just hogwash. It's all on the state of mind. So I told my father, I said, you know what, Father? Apparently I got this all wrong. And these people got it all right. They are gods and goddesses in their own right, and they know everything that needs to be attended to and addressed. They just haven't come to a consensus yet on how to do it. Like with the federal government when they shut down and they didn't pass for 35 days. And enough people had to get pissed in order for them to do something. So, yeah, I definitely understand your plan that you are going to let them hang themselves by their own necks with their own ropes that they draw as they sit there and dictate what lives matter, but at the same time don't seem to understand that you can't sit there and say that your life matters. when you take another and don't think anything of it. Well, I understand why I'm being retired, but the thing is, that don't mean you gonna be retired. You got a shitload of work to do. And as you consult with people who sit up there and say that they know the way, you can find out what way they know. Because after all, they done already told you that they are gods and goddesses alike. Unlike, a Roman tragedy or a Greek tragedy when it comes down to the gods, which were basically mirror images of mankind acting a fool. And they were at war with each other constantly and propagating and constantly in a state of union and disunion and disillusion and illusion that they had powers that they did not have. I pit my player against your player. That's some shit that I saw, in some of those Odysseys. They made movies about it. I'm sure you saw it. The Ulysses, the Odysseys, Ulysses and stuff like that. All that shit is in there. I'm sure you're ready for it, right? Because see, y'all are all studied and showing yourself approved. That's why you're doing all this shit. Because you are ready in your self-examinatory state to ascend to the house of the Lord. So, let the examination begin as you work with one another. See, pithy sayings are one thing, but how you play them out is another. And if you're only worried about a dog or a cat, then a dog and a cat in heaven is all you're really concerned about. You ain't really worried about your place now, are you? Isn't it a pity that that veterinarian stuffed those puppies with heroin or something as drug mules? As if human beings as drug mules. It's not good enough. And at the same time, such a pet lover has done something so unconscionable. At the same time, that's acceptable. And then let's take into consideration this. How you, who are light workers, who are writing all these books, sit there and say, well, we had a committee on the other side as to what lessons we wanted to work on in life, and other people agreed to work on those lessons with us. But when we got over, I guess we didn't like them, so we decided to cut some cords. Oh, that makes a lot of sense to me. But you're still living. So now, when did you work on that lesson? When you cut that cord. See, I've learned so much. How silly me that my father taught me everything about love and the Bible, but you teaching me more about love when it comes to you as an individual. I raise money for the Coda Foundation. A dog charity in the name of my little dog. You study with many a teacher and use spiritual assessment. Your self-assessment as to what is wrong. It's very interesting, don't you? When the church is so antiquated and putting down rules that nobody follows anyway, just like you, think moralistic compass is the same because you possess one? And what exactly, pray tell, does that come from? Your moralistic compass. I see a world in chaos and anarchy, and I see it growing exponentially. And I don't care that you have a love and affinity and see goodness in the fact that you have these first responders who are also rapists and murderers and thieves and more that come to your aid. I think that's quite interesting. I'm telling you, I'm learning so much by studying mankind. Archangel Uriel. Some of them call him the psychologist angel. He and I are good friends. He said, Sonny, Christ, meaning me, Son of God. Look at it this way. This is what we observe in spirit. That's my Father. Your Father. My Father is interjected now. And now they're seeking to reconnect. Reconnect to what? You're already connected to yourself. That's the most important thing, don't you think? These are the ones you need to work with. These are the cords that you cut. You ain't worried about connecting to him because, he's just a vending machine. And you have everything you need right here amongst each other. You have all the skills you have on this planet, all the ore that you need to construct something. Yeah, dirt and more. Go to work. Make something happen. You don't need to send anything your way, so why are you praying to him? Much less praying in Jesus' name or praying to Jesus. Because see, self-examination is just that. It's examination of self. And if you thought the second coming was about anything other than you know, being called on the carpet, bad dog, bad dog. Because you so unconditionally loving, because you say that's what God is, and you're created in His image, and we know damn well not all of you are alike, much less the same. And you like to sit there and tell somebody else how fucked up they are, but at the same time, you ain't, because you done all your self work and self healing and more, and now you willing to sell it for a buck. I think y'all pathetic. I can look at this world and say, oh well, there's nothing I want, but I'm in it. I had to stay here for a minute because, see, apparently, at some point in time, some of y'all gonna want to actually hear or listen to what I just said. Then I had to come out of retirement. But that's for right now. I did a shitload of work bringing shit through for you. In fact, this morning I did the last of it, as far as my father was concerned. Yeah, I just have to just focus on me for a minute because I got things I need to do, and I do understand the story. Not the one that just happened, but the one that's happening now and that which is to come. But for me to teach that, well, you know, in the vernacular of the day, you have to pay and pay and pay and pay. And when you get tired of funding these other GoFundMe accounts, then perhaps you might want to fund the one that I put in place that will put in place funds for me to, you know, rent out an arena, hire security, bring in some snacks and stuff like that. And you can just come in and I will teach you what he said. But until then, I ain't doing shit for you. If you think I'm going to post another video that's going to teach you about what you are going through in terms of hell on earth, when you sit there and say this is already hell, oh, you ain't seen hell yet. Oh, no, no, you really haven't. Hell is still on its way, as far as you're concerned, because it hasn't touched everybody's life yet. You just know you lost your mama. You've lost friends and relationships and more. And these other people telling you how you can get one with a good man. But you have to understand something. If everybody sees themselves as independent and self-deserving as you, how are you going to find anybody that ever amounts to what you now want, much less deserve, when there is no compromise? Now, the government is poised to make a compromise, and Donald Trump is poised to sign off on anything, just so there's no government shutdown again, and so that you will reelect him. And he's setting you up. I'll give you that tidbit. I told you, you might want to get that motherfucker out of office real quick. Because he told you when he came in what kind of man he was. And half the country decided they didn't care. That's what you're up against. And you can't change your mind that's already made up. Particularly when you've already cut cords to work with them. And they, on a spiritual level, don't recognize your authority to coerce them to do so. You can thank Doreen for that. She had a worldwide movement and made a shitload of money as a spiritualist doing as much. Oh, you see my eyes are welling up. Not because I'm crying for you, but because you're going to be crying for yourself. Everybody is in a camp, boys for their own slaughter. Don't matter if you're religious or spiritual or not, because you all do the same stupid shit. You turn a blind eye and a deaf ear, Because the spiritual people will sit there and tell you, well, you just signed up for that. And the religious people say, well, I'm fighting for your rights. Really? Did you fight for Colin Kaepernick's right to kneel as if that was a sign of disrespect to the flag when he was actually praying for the salvation of this nation? You never looked at it that way. You said you have to stand for it. What? Stand up for what? What's killing me and my people and anybody else who don't look like those who are actually pulling the trigger? And you never want to entertain that as a thought? Megan McCain? And oh, you were like her. Oh, and then sometimes some of them soldiers will sit there and tell you, we kneel for our fallen comrades. We don't stand for them. We don't sit there and stand up and salute the flag when they die laying there dying at our feet. We get on our knees and we praying for them. So what the hell is your compassion, motherfuckers? Oh yeah, but you took an oath to serve, protect who? One nation under what God? Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, as you sit there and spit and cost a man his livelihood and career because you can, playing a barbaric sport akin to the gladiators with a pig skin, deflate gate and more. Do you really want me to read you people worst nightmare? Because I'm as my I'm also seeking to reconnect. Let's see if you can do it. Thank you, Father, for interjecting, because you know I will go deep. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's right. He said, no, I don't want you doing that, because you're retired. They already know. They in deep doo-doo. Okay, so more storms are coming. It's going to rain some more today. Not that heavily, but it's going to rain enough. And there's still more debris. Water. It's funny on the news, the weatherman said, you would think all that shit done washed out. No, there's a lot of shit stuff. And at the same time, California is happy, you know, that they got the snowpacks and stuff. But you have to understand something, people. With all the water, I tell you, that means there's a lot of toxic waste in the lands. So when that water, it's going to be polluted. And that's what smell, oh, yeah, foul smells. Well, I know that we're not done with the winter, because what else do I say? We're just starting to slip and slide here in the Pacific Northwest, and they've definitely been doing it in the Midwest, going back east. And we're just talking about the States. We ain't talking about the rest of the world. But I still see more mudslide. And I still don't see us really having much of a spring. I see us going summer and cooking again. And then we're praying for the fall for it to be crisp and cool and moderate temperature. It's going to be hot. You know how when you turn on the spigot in the morning and you just want to take that hot shower because it's been cold and you have to wait forever for it to warm up? And then it's like that finite moment when the water is tepid as you're sitting there taking your shower and you're enjoying it all this. And just from your night with a fight or a shootout, I mean, it's just gonna be, you ain't gonna be able to go anywhere. And the thing is, the sad thing is, you can't even go to church because they're gonna be acting a fool there too. Because the thing is, there is no church, not in the Christian sense. Because the thing is, everybody's in there for a dollar. They're in there for a blessing. You can't get a blessing from a minister who is no longer anointed or ordained in a church that no longer exists. So they basically, or like, what you have on the internet, these people who go out there and they sit there and put in some information and the government doesn't regulate that shit. So that means that they can get it a credential and then they come out there and they can anoint you and marry you, but they don't have to use words that have to do with God or anything like that. And now you married. They just sign off on the piece of paper. So basically that's a state marriage. It ain't got nothing to do with God. So that is what it's going to be like with your churches. All of them. Catholic, Baptist, Episcopal, Pentecostal, I don't care. Anything that is Christian related no longer exists. We cut that tree down. Timber! It fell just like, trees have been falling left and right. Have you noticed how many trees have been falling out here in the West with all this rain? Crashing cars and into houses and stuff like that and fucking up people's livelihoods. That's symbolic. Because, Christ is about the tree of life. In Judaism, trees are sacred. Christ was a Jew. And the Jews, I lived at a place where this one Jew, he wanted his neighbor, she was Jew too, but he didn't recognize her because, she was a lesbian. He didn't like her. He told her to cut down her tree. She thought that was insane coming from that Jewish man. Israeli. Jews are always at war with each other. Just like the Muslims. Pick your side, pick your poison. They all have their own sense of who God is and who their prophets are. And since you embody them all, and all the angels from above, now below. Did you fall? Because most angels I know of exist in the heavens. But the ones down here on earth, well, let's put it this way, they ain't amongst you. You might do some angelic things, but I would never identify myself as an angel. I know who I am. My brother said, you don't like when I talk like this, but it's okay. I only had one comment on all these videos I done. Some lady, I don't even know who it was. I think it was a lady. It could have been a guy. I really, be honest with you, I really didn't try and figure it out. And all they was first. And I was like, and I didn't take offense. I thought that shit was funny. And I was like, why would they say that? But then things came through later that showed me why they said that. And I said, all right now. The first shall be last. And I know what that means. And the last shall be first. You started to show yourself approved. Let's see how well that goes. But I tell you what, all that's in the world today, as Joseph Tittle says, is here for you to heal. But the thing is, you can't do it in your own little separated camps. You gotta come out and you gotta start working with these people without a soul contract in place. And that shit is gonna be hysterical. And the only power you get to call on is the power of self. Because you love yourself. You adore yourself. That's funny. He said that you need to reconnect to that too. So, like Diane Bright, don't send me no invitations to join the Yo Canadian radio. Because I told you, that first man who spit on the back of my head was in Canada. That shit was hysterical. And he didn't see Jesus around me. Normally, he said he see Jesus. Why are you going to sit there and ignore Jesus when Jesus is standing there before you? He's all Quan Yin. Y'all got so much shit in y'all head, y'all don't know what to do. Good luck with that. Reconcile all that shit. I ain't tagging. We tag each other. You need to question each other. You need to test the spirits. And the spirits are not just the ones in the ether. Now the spirits are the ones that possess you. Capiche? You have a most magnificent day. I ain't gonna say anything else. Just have a most magnificent day. And years, and years, and years, and generations, and if necessary, millennia.